Well, hello everyone. I know this is a little strange. Just trying to do a little bit of fun here. We're on my steering wheel, so we're just going to see how this is going to go. I'm actually on my way home from work, and what I wanted to do, and I'm not going to be looking at the camera, so I apologize. I know the audio will suck, but it's my time that I can sit here, and if the phone falls, I apologize. Sometimes I can sit here and kind of brainstorm what's in my head, share it with you guys, see what happens, and maybe give you guys some tips. I know a lot of people may watch this in the next 24 hours, so more power to you. But what we're going to focus on today is really how to save time with your packing and shipping. And this is something that I have learned is invaluable as you go along in doing this stuff, because your time is money. And the more time you can do what you can only do, so if that's sourcing, or if that's making connections, or if that's education, finding new accounts, whatever that is, you are only able to do so much in a day. You only have 24 hours, and you also only have, you have to sleep. Except if you're Mike Garner, I really don't think he sleeps. But I've got to say that you've got to figure out a way to use that time to its full. Sorry about that. That was exactly what happens when you hit the gas. So what you do is you have to find time that allows you to maximize your profitability of time. So this all goes back to kind of your basic economics, where it's an opportunity cost. When I do something, is there something I can be doing that I can make more money off of? So this is the whole idea or notion of, like, say my car needs its oil changed. I could change my car, or change the oil in my car, and it would take me probably about 35 minutes to an hour, somewhere around there. Now, if I do that, it's great, but what could I be doing otherwise in that 35 minutes to an hour? Well, I could probably go to a store and source and find $100 worth of items. So now if an oil change costs me $25 and I'm able to source $100 worth of items and make a profit $75, I am better off to go ahead and give my car to the shop to have them change the oil and spend my time doing something else. So it's kind of that whole theory, and you can apply this to a lot of different things in your life, but especially when it comes to sourcing and packing. So the ways I've improved my time, inventory labs was my first kind of delve into the whole finding extra time when I'm packing. I used that about this time last year. I was a full Excel guy before that, so when I was doing things, sorry, gotta make this roundabout here. So when I was doing things, I was doing it on Excel, using it that way. And yeah, especially if you do get your oil changed at Walmart. Sorry about that. But anyway, so I started using inventory labs around Christmas of last year, and what I found out was it really helps with the amount of time spent packing and prepping. It automatically prints my labels when I click go. I'm able to track my cost in one spot. I'm able to track where I'm buying my items from, so I can have that visibility on my reports. I'm just being able to really see what kind of information is there. So that was kind of my first bit, and you can see an entire webinar that I did over how I use it on our FBA master blog. But another thing that I did was I started buying the right equipment. So instead of sitting there and peeling stickers off with my hands, I bought Scotty peelers. Instead of doing like an impulse sealer, I have peel and sticky or poly bags. I bought myself a heat gun. I bought myself a Dymo printer. Bought myself a scale that had the little extension so I could see my items on there. And really what it was my ability to, okay, maybe it was every time I waited for an item or I peeled a sticker off, I was taking 30 seconds. Scotty peeler, it took 10 seconds. So now when you start doing the math, if I have 100 items, that time starts adding up. So I started doing that and found out that there's a real system in place. And then the next part was organization. And the organization bit of this is something that I think I overlooked the importance of when I started. And I've started to really find some great tips along the way. So before I make any shipment or I start prepping anything, the first thing that I do is I go on to, or I get all the bags out of my car and I will take them out of the bags and I will sort them on my tables and on the floor. So if I have 20 of an item, I want to put those items all together. It may sound kind of silly and you're wasting your time doing that, but I find that it speeds up the processing because I'm not looking to see how many of those I have. I simply go on there and I look and go, okay, well I have 6 of these items, great. And I put those in and I can sort them right then and there. So that is one way I've really saved some time. I've also invested in the table so I can sort them, and then I did inventory placement for a little bit. Now I go back and forth between them, and it just really depends on what kind of items that I'm shipping that day and everything. But inventory placements where you can ship it to one location does cost a lot more, so I've been trying to, oh, sorry about that, guys. That's what you get for doing this. So what I've been doing is using that only when I have small batches of items, and with a little bit bigger shipments I will do larger batches, which really allows me to save my money when it's a larger batch and reduce my shipping cost overall when it's a smaller batch when I wanted to ship it to like 5 different locations. So then my next kind of step was I hired my first employee, which technically when I say hired my first employee, it is a family friend of ours, and I trained him how to help me out, and I pay him to help me. So, and I know people have started, I think there is a blog post that I wrote on the FBA Master blog about how I kind of trained him to do it. And that was a real big step for me. Because, to be honest, it's hard to give up that being able to check your quality control, which when my account got suspended, that was a big issue, and that was stuff I was even doing. So if I was messing that up, can I trust someone else to do it? That crossed my mind. Are they going to be able to pack and save me as much money as they can? Because it's not their money, it's my money. So it really doesn't matter to them that it's going to cost an extra $2 to ship to this location, or I'm going to use a little bit of extra tape or not so much tape or this or that with it. And you're going to have kind of that fear of letting go, I guess is the best thing to say. And I think it's normal, but what you got to do is you got to start laying out what you do and what can be taught to someone else, and then give exact guidelines to them. So like with Nathan, who does my stuff at my house, he comes in, I have everything already laid out and sorted for him. It's already done. I leave the stickers on so that he can figure out what the price is to put that into inventory labs. And I have made sure everything is kind of pre-prepped. So if there's anything that I know needs bubble wrap, needs, why are these hearts going in the corner of this? This is crazy. If it's anything like that, I just want to be able to make sure that I don't have, he's not going to forget it. So like my light bulbs I got, I will go ahead and bubble wrap those because I haven't taught him how to do that yet. So I'll have everything ready. He will simply scan it, it'll tell him where he's going to send it, he'll label it, he'll put them in the boxes, and he'll ship them out. I still schedule the UPS pickup because I haven't shown him how to do that yet. I've started showing him how to actually sort everything, kind of guessing where it's going to be going, that kind of it. But it just has really helped me with my time. So, for instance, the first game of the NFL season, my wife and I went up to the Chicago Bears game. And the Chicago Bears game was a 3-day weekend for us. We went and stayed with some friends. And one of those days, I had my employee Nathan sitting at my house packing up my stuff while I was at the football game. Now you may be sitting there and go, well, Chris, you just created something where you don't have to be a part of the business. Well, kind of. So I still like to source because I still want to have, since it's my money, I want to have that touch and feel on it so that I can actually go, yes, I would like to buy this, or I check it and I have the accountability for that. There'll be a time in the next few weeks where Nathan will actually be trained on how to source. It'll become one of my sourcing partners as he goes out and starts sourcing items for me. And there's going to be very strict guidelines when we're doing that. So instead of being, okay, well, this may be a good item, may not be a good item, if it doesn't meet my 10 criteria that I give him, he will not buy it. That'll be the way we operate. And I'm going through the process right now of getting employee cards with the business account, that kind of stuff, so that Nathan's really just going to be an extension of me at a store, so he can source and double my time in a store, which makes it really in my opinion, fascinating because I'm able to typically, honestly, double myself. And if you're looking in a way to increase the amount of inventory you're sourcing, especially during a time like Q4, it's a really good way to get the most out of your time. So that's kind of my insights on prepping and shipping. And the only other thing I want to talk about is kind of the Q4 rush, because I know that's a really hot topic right now, and it's tomorrow, start of Q4. And are you ready for it? I released a blog post about it today. Well, you can be ready for it, but being ready for it and actually taking advantage of it are two different things. I know that my buying will increase probably threefold over the next few weeks. I'm going to be sourcing a lot more during my lunch. I'm going to be going after work. I'm going to be going before work. I'm going to start making that extra little bit of time to go and find my products. I am first going to check that list of items that I have that were good sellers last year. I want to start looking to see how they perform. And if any of them are golden, I may start getting them. But my biggest thing is I'm not going to stock up on the toys right now because I'm not sure what's hot or not. And my dad mentioned that in the Periscope last night, is that it's fine and dandy to start buying toys, but if you get stuck with them, you're stuck holding them. So I'm going to just start checking to see if the stuff from last year is anywhere relevant. But I'm really going to just keep focusing on heavy clearance and replenishables right now. Start building up my inventory in that. And as I start building that up more and more, it's going to be a really good base so that I have consistent sales. And then I can really turn on the afterburners once we start realizing, oh, this is selling above market value. I need to start collecting more on this. I need to start doing more on that. So just that's kind of where I'm heading to right now, and I'll keep you guys up to date as I go along. My dad and I were purchasing items yesterday, so I have a good stock of that, and I'm starting to create a list using my OA X-ray of items that Amazon's having trouble keeping in stock. So I'm using it in reverse of what most people use it for. Most people use it to find kind of their items that are great items to source online. I love to do it the other way. So I basically create a list of items that Amazon can't keep in stock. So really, they're like, there's a certain color I have on mine. Mine's purple. And when it shows up purple, I know this is an item I should probably keep an eye on. So I create that list, I go in the store, and I basically just start picking items from freaking everything. So that's what I do. So I hope this has been somewhat informational. One last little offer I have right now. You'll know I just give things out for free. We rarely do anything where we charge. And if I do ever charge for anything, it's for a good cause of some sort. So right now in the group, you'll find I'm doing a goodie bag giveaway that is helping out a group member, Mitchell Simmons, who is actually going on a walk in Disneyland to raise money for an organization there. So on the Facebook FBA Master Facebook group page and on the blog, you will find that I have a blog post written, and what you'll get in return is a list of about 80 bolos that are items that I found over the last few weeks that I think are good finds. Some of them may be, they change all the time, so by the time I've checked them this morning, probably 10 things have changed. So don't be surprised on that. Then I'm giving you access to 3 videos that are part of my Udemy course. So I've been working on that. It's about 40% of the way done now, and you can actually go on there and get the videos right now and get a head start. Hopefully that course will be ready by the end of next month, so the end of October, and you can actually take the full course then. But any donation amount will get you access to those videos right here now. There's 2 videos over Keepa and 1 over Great Deals for Real, since it is an online sourcing course, and you can actually see how I use those to find items. So good practice, great. You'll also be invited to a private Google Hangout with a deal finding session online with me. That's scheduled for next Monday, October 5th at 7 o'clock. And all people who have made a donation get access to the recorded version of that for free. So if you can't make it to the live session, you can still follow the techniques that are in there on the other sessions, or that session, you can use them later. And then you also will get a private blog post with some hidden tips and tricks that I have that are kind of my secret weapons on a few things. So I'm going to keep that private and only share it with those who have made a donation. And then on top of that, there's kind of one other small little offer that gets tossed in there, and it's a and this, no one knows this besides the people who are watching this right now, but if you aren't ungated in a certain category, all you got to do is respond to the email that I send you with all that information on there, all your freebies, and we'll actually get put in a drawing to win one of 3 free ungatings for anybody who makes a donation. So a $5 donation to a great cause can get you all of that, and you don't even have to do anything. It's just a nice little thing that we help out group members, and we make the world a little bit better place. So I'm actually just about home. I'll try to do these a little more often. I'm going to buy myself a mount for the car so I can kind of sit there and I can talk to it while I'm driving, because this whole handheld thing isn't going to work for me very long. And someone wants to know how the Packers game is, and it was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Cannot wait to go back. I get to go in like 3 more weeks, and I've already started planning the entire trip out after what I know now, and I am so excited about that. And I bought myself a cheese head and a nice little jacket that I can't wait to wear, and the temperature's falling here, so it's the perfect time of year for that. And I think my dad had a blast too. Long drive, but if anybody's up in that area, the weekend of October 18th, let us know. Let me know. We'd be happy to grab a drink. We're going to be driving up that way, my father-in-law and I. And if you want to go out and get a drink, let me know, and we can go from there. So I will talk with you all later. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the evening, and I'll see you next time.